Hello everybody. It's been about 4 years since I've done a walk-around tour of my workshop. 4 years ago, this was pretty much my man cave. Did some woodworking here and there. Had a little hobby station over here where I built model airplanes and stuff. Many of you know, long-time subscribers, about 3 years ago, my company that I worked for 26 years, they sold out to a new company, and we ventured off and kind of took our homesteading thing and started our own business here on our home place. And this has evolved now into a working shop that I come work at every day. Anyways, I thought it'd be kind of neat to show you around, kind of show you how this has evolved and kind of where I work every day. This corner of the shop, this is where you're going to find me 75–80% of the time. Any project that I'm working on, typically that corner of the island here, the workbench that sits out in the middle here, that's where I work. It's where I'm comfortable. So I kind of place things that I use every single day in that area. I've also got the miter saw and got the belt sander with the disc sander there. And then also my power station, which I'll show some up close of this here in a few minutes. But this area here is pretty much where I work majority of the time. Here's the miter saw station that I was talking about. And I'm going to turn that light out, showing a little bit of a glare there. But like I said before, I've got the miter saw set up there. I've got a belt sander, disc sander, and it came from Harbor Freight. It's not as powerful as it probably should be, but it works pretty much for the applications I use it on. And there behind the miter and belt center, I've got the lathe tools. I don't have room in here for my lathe right now. I'm working on some construction progress outside my shop where I'm going to have some wood storage, and also going to set up a lathe area. These will probably move once I get that done, but found a place that those fit pretty well for now. And here's the power station that I spoke about before. It holds my power drills, and also has the chargers and extra batteries on top of it. The kitchen cabinets here that I've got in here came out of the old house that used to sit on this place, and we tore that house down and moved the cabinets in here. And about 2 years ago, I cut out the section of the laminate countertop and built this workbench. It gives me a lot more solid surface to work on, and I've got it going down through the cabinets, and I've got it to where there's 4x4s making contact with the concrete underneath, so that's a really solid work surface for me to work on. And then there in the center, there's a lot of the tools that I use just about on an everyday basis. And here's looking off to the right of that area. Here on these shelves here, this is the stuff that I use every single day, whether it be nails, steeples, whatever it is. I've got it organized in this area. Easy for me to get to, easy for me to grab. I've got other areas in the shop here that and I'll show here in a few minutes, where I keep all the nuts and bolts and all that stuff that I may use for a project. And here's my rollaway here. I've got all my sockets and wrenches and all that good stuff in it. Probably 3/4 a way through getting organized really good in there. Here's my air tank here in the shop. This thing works pretty good. Puts out plenty of air for me at this point. Future, if I was to expand or whatever and had multiple things going at one time, I would definitely probably have to upgrade my air. And that area there is probably the one area that I really need to work on the most. I've just got a kind of junk hanging in that area, extension cords, this, that, and other. Really planning on trying to figure out a way to organize that better. And I've got this map here. This map's been in my shop. Actually, it was hanging in the shop that I had on the other property next door. But I'll make a video explaining what this map is in the future, what each pin represents. And this workbench here on the east wall, I've got my air nailers. Each one has a different size nail in it. One of them has staples in it. Two of them I use every day. Then for special projects or whatever, I'll use the other ones. I've also got my drill press set up there, an anvil. I definitely want to, sometime in the future, I don't do a whole lot of metal work, but definitely want to get me some kind of setup with that anvil where I don't have to move it when I want to use it. And then I've got some various hammers and all. I used to collect hammers back years ago, and don't use every one of those hammers, but every one has special meaning. Some of them my grandfather's, my dad's. So more than anything, I guess, not using them every day, I probably display them more than anything, but I enjoy looking at them when I come out here. And here, this area is the area that I was talking about, where I got all the nuts, bolts, organized chaos, pretty much, I guess. But we do a lot of crafting and repurposing and stuff like that. So I've got a big array of various hinges and all down there. And of course, my bandsaw there. I picked that up at a yard sale about a year ago. And here I've got my shop vac, and down there I've got some miscellaneous wood storage, which I mentioned earlier. I'm actually working on a place outside the shop here to store all my wood in, because you really get a lot of projects going. You got a lot of scrap wood, and I don't like throwing that stuff away or burning it until I have to. I like to keep using and keep repurposing and get my money's worth out of every piece of scrap I've got. And there I've got a cabinet there. I'm probably going to replace this eventually. This cabinet actually was hanging in my dad's shop when he passed away. I thought, well, I'm going to move that to my shop and use it in here. And it's not real effective storage for me, but at this point it works. And then of course that shelf there, I've got various patterns, and I've got a router sitting up there. I need to probably organize that a little more. In my center workbench here, I've got the table saw. It gives me a lot of area to cut bigger sheets on. I definitely want to upgrade table saw eventually. At this point, this is working, I guess I could say, but really need to upgrade that in the future. This area of my shop, I keep all my books. Top shelf, I've got different size wires and some chain and different things that we use for various projects around here. I also keep a lot of small tools. Like I mentioned before, I used to build model airplanes and ships and all that kind of stuff. I've got a lot of small tools and stuff that come in handy to in the process of repurposing something or restoring something. Of course, there I've got a refrigerator in the corner and a TV, and then down underneath just some miscellaneous storage there. Here's a close-up of the area where all the small tools are stored. And then looking back towards my doors there, originally when I bought this property, there was a old broken down garage door that the previous owner had nailed shut. I took that out and I built these doors, and I've still got some work to do on them to finish insulating them and getting them good and squared up and all, but thought I'd have that done by this winter, but hadn't worked out for me so far. I use kerosene heater to heat my shop. This thing usually will heat me out of here. It's only been a couple of days this winter that it's been really cold that I've actually had to move it over closer to my work area, but normally I just have it sitting back here in the back, and keeps this place good and warm for me. Well, I hope you enjoyed the shop tour. What our business model is here, what we do is anything from restore furniture, restore vintage items. I restore some vintage tools, and we sell those. I also build antique barbed wire displays. Let me think. Paint signs. Just about anything we can do to make a living here. And so far it's worked out for us wonderfully. The platforms we use to sell our products, we have a couple of antique booths here in town. We sell on Etsy, sell on eBay. Go to craft fairs, festivals. Anywhere we can get our stuff out there to the crowd that spends money on that kind of stuff, that's what we do. Anyways, got any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try to answer what I can. Hope you enjoyed the tour, and we'll see y'all later.